Hey, I'm Adam from the Pursuit Counseling. Today, we're going to talk about a recent blog that we put out called I'm 25 and COVID Ruined My Life. And this blog has gotten a lot of traction, and I'm excited about it because that means that this story is true for a lot of people. But if you're in that 20 to 30 range and COVID has affected the beginning of your career, your college experience, your relationships with friends and family, finding a significant other, this blog is for you. And so, it's 2024 and we're still talking about blogs, right? Everybody's doing videos like this, or they're doing Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. But people are still looking for information, and they're going for written as well as video. So I want to talk with you a little bit about this blog. So, the story really is a conglomeration of a bunch of clients that we have in our office, names, scenarios. All of this has been changed to protect identity, confidentiality, etc. But essentially, the story goes someone's between 20 and 28, and they're living at home in their parents' basement. Their last couple years of college were spent in lockdown, masks on their face. They weren't able to go out to the bars, to the football games, student events, even meeting with professors. All of these things were not accessible to them during the last couple years of their college experience because of COVID. We were all sitting at home wearing masks, learning that sweatpants are the new business attire. And we were just struggling to figure out, were we going to survive? Because back in 2020, the science was still evolving and we didn't know what we were facing. And so, one of the greatest groups of people that were affected by this were high school students and college students. And today, there are residual effects, not just in employment, but in relationships. And so the next couple of videos that we're going to do are going to be talking about, ways that the students that were affected by this, or young professionals were affected by COVID and the policies on COVID, and how they can jumpstart their work careers again. And then also in future videos talking about how they can relearn the soft skills to be successful in life. So I'm going to get this blog out of the way and we're just going to talk. All right. So, one of the first things that you can do if you're a young professional, or you're in college now and you're struggling to find this next path to your career, the first thing that you want to do, you want to upskill or reskill. We find this a lot over the last 15 years. I've been talking with people in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are not happy in their current careers, and now we're finding that, and when we're doing career counseling, that we are talking more to the new graduates because they were just trying to get out of college during COVID. They were just trying to graduate, or maybe they dropped out and they're just trying to figure out what to do next. So, upskilling and reskilling. With the changing landscape in our industries, it's essential to stay relevant by acquiring new skills and enhancing existing ones. You can do online courses to get certificates. Thanks to COVID, it's been much easier for people to get degrees online as opposed to being in person. So you're not having to worry about doing synchronous classes where you're meeting in the evenings, or maybe you have to quit work altogether. Now, a lot of universities are doing asynchronous work where it's work at your own pace, but during the semester. And these courses have been really, really helpful for people. Um, if you're a new graduate and you're looking to upskill or reskill, I would spend a lot of time doing the second one, which is networking and building relationships. So during COVID, we had physical distancing measures. We had networking that was really hard to do because networking usually took place over a cup of coffee, having a pint of beer, going to someone's office, going to dinner. There was a time where we couldn't do that, right? So that was really hard to do. So, we all became very familiar with Zoom, not sponsored. We've We've learned how to use Zoom, Google Meet, all the video, FaceTime features that you can do. If you're a young person and you're struggling to figure out what you want to do, it's going to be really hard for you to be bold enough to ask someone that you've never met before to meet on a Zoom meeting. So, one of the benefits of being in this post COVID environment is learning how to network again. And networking is a fancy word for hanging out. That's all it is. It's hanging out. It's hanging out with a purpose. And the purpose is that you want to learn from someone else. You want to learn from their experience. When I was working in a university system, we talked a lot about doing information interviews. And that's where you're not asking for a job, but you're meeting with a lot of different people across a lot of different businesses or industries. And when you're doing informational interviews, what you're doing is you're learning from someone's experience and you're saying, do I want to do something like this? Or do I not want to do something like this? And that is one of the best ways that you can begin networking by meeting with people that your friends know, your family members know, or other colleagues know. And people love talking about themselves. So if you're saying, I want to learn about your career and what you've done, what you would have done differently, people would gladly spend time with you in order to share their story and teach you the lessons that they've learned in their careers. Next, we want to talk about flexibility and adaptability. This is number three, flexibility and adaptability. The pandemic highlighted the importance of flexibility and adaptability in the workplace. It embraced change, working from home in industries where that was never an option. It's now an option in several job sectors. And so you have learned the ability to adapt to different situations. Employers began to value individuals who can navigate uncertainty with resilience and agility. Strategic thinking is one of the most needed skills in our current job market. So the ability to have a broad range of knowledge and think from strategy, that is one of the big soft skills we'll talk about in a future video. Also, think about remote work optimization. So I'm in Fayetteville, Georgia, and a lot of my clients, they live here, but they remote work in other states. And that's such a cool opportunity because prior to COVID, that was harder and harder to do. So when you're doing your job searching, don't look just in your immediate area. Look in other areas that you might want to visit or you might want to live, and look for remote work options. If you have a degree that is more computer based, or even if it's relational based, but it can be done from a computer, look for remote work options. You're going to lose the social connection with employees and peers, but you do have the freedom to live wherever you want, so you don't have to worry about breaking a lease, selling a house, or starting in a new environment where you don't know very many people. And the last one, number five, we want self care and well being to be at the core of what you do. A lot of our young graduates are dealing with anxiety, social anxiety, depression, loss of direction. And the biggest thing that we spend time talking about in our sessions is self care and learning the ability to take care of yourself through diet, sleep, exercise, breathing exercises, yoga, and being able to take care of yourself is going to be one of the most essential steps that's going to help you get unstuck in this post-COVID environment. So what do we do next? Right? If you relate to that 20 to 28-year-old that's stuck, we have amazing therapists that work in the state of Georgia, Florida, licensed in South Carolina, and a few other states. So if you're in the southern region, we can help you out, whether in person or in video, right? We're in a post COVID world. We do video counseling. And so we're more than happy to help you navigate this jump start of your career and gain the skills that you need. I'm Adam with the Pursuit Counseling, and it's always a pleasure to share this valuable information with you.